guys, we're out here clearing some of our land for fence rows and stuff. I know it's a blessing and it's a curse. These are called Smilax roots. These things grow and make a Smilax vine that animals literally love the leaves on and the vines to them. They grow all up in the tops of the trees and stuff like that, and they make a berry that gets on them, and these things just grow underground from a rhizome. I mean, this land has been over 100 years, probably longer than that, since there's been anything done in here. The people I bought it from was 100 years old, was in their 90s, and they hadn't messed with it. So, and that was 30-something years ago. So, it's been a pretty long time since anything's been in these woods. And I want to show you how some of these Smilax roots. Look how big these things are. These things are huge. They just knot all up, and they make some people call them a sawbrier, but and they do have giant thorns that gets all over them once they mature. But these only come out of an area just right here behind me, and this is not all of them. It's just this little small spot right here. We tried to punch a hole through the woods to get a fence in here. It's probably, I don't know, 18 to 20 feet long and probably 12 feet wide. The last push, all these here turned up out of the ground. I figured I'd say, wow, just look at all these things. Now, some people say that they're edible. I don't know. I know when the shoots first come up on them, they're like a wild asparagus. As a matter of fact, I'll take you over here and show you some of the young shoots on them to kind of give you an idea of about what they look like. We've actually ate them before. They're a little bit bitter. They're not bad. I guess in a survival situation, they would be fine. But let me walk over here and kind of give you an idea of what some of them look like when they come up out of the ground. Okay, now this is a young one that's come up out of the ground. You see all these thorns right here on it? Now, when it's young, these thorns won't hurt you. They're just as soft as they can be. You take your hand and rub them off of there. But they grow up, and they make a long, tall vine. Gets a little top on it like that. The goats love these tops, too, because they're mostly just water. But when you find them young, they're like eating fresh asparagus straight up out of the ground when they first come up. Now, as they begin to mature, I'll show you right over here. This is one that's a little bit older. It's getting a little bit taller. Now, these right here, these will stick in you because they done hardened off. Them right there, they'll punch a hole in you in a heartbeat. But they got these long things on them. But I mean, if you look on the ground, I'll come out here, I'll show you how many of them there are still in the ground. See all the little young vines coming up? You see these leaves right here? Those green leaves you see on the ground, that's them coming up. When you get out here, they just start popping up everywhere. They're, I mean, here's another one. Another one right here. But you see the green leaves coming up right there? Those big clumps of roots is underneath this ground in here. I didn't have a dozer with a rake on it or anything. I just kind of cleared it with a tractor bucket and all that. I just scraped the surface of the ground. And those things are still underground. If you look up through the woods up yonder, you see all the little green leaves you see on the ground, all up in here, all that's Smilax. It's fantastic. When you turn the goats in here, they go crazy over that stuff, and they keep it mowed down. We're almost to that point. I'm going to let it get just a little bit taller before I actually put the goats in here, because when I do, I'm going to leave them and let them clean this whole place up, and then we'll pull them out for a while and give it a chance to come back. Now, when they grow up in the trees, let me see if I can find some here. A lot of the times I'll come over here in the woods and I'll pull this like right here. pull all this down like this here, and those goats will come in here and boy, or cows, either one, they'll have themselves a fit over all these green leaves. They are really rich in nutrition. The animals literally love them because they grow up in the tops of these trees, and they're not hard to pull down. I mean, you get them down here, and once the goats get through cleaning them up, I'll come through here with a bush hog and chop all these vines up, and I just mulch them back into the dirt. If you're living off the land like we do here, this Smilax is a blessing and both a curse. It's a blessing in the fact that if you have animals and you need something for the animals to eat and you don't have any grass, then they'll come in here and just graze on this stuff. You can come over here and pull them down, let them get to them, or they'll eat them off at the ground or whatever. You don't have to worry about them being wormy or anything like that because they're way up off the ground. And the curse side of it is, if I was to need this land for something, to be able to grow anything, then without a dozer and a rake coming in here raking these things up out of the ground, there's no controlling them. I mean, you got to literally rake them up out of the ground, and any little tiny piece that's left, it's kind of like a dandelion root or a dock or anything like that. If you just leave a little tiny piece of that root in the ground, it's just going to grow another one. You know, and then before you know it, they're just spreading out everywhere, and it's a curse. But at the same time, like I mentioned, if you're using your land for goats and sheep and cows and stuff like that, then it's a blessing. So I hope y'all have enjoyed this one little bit of a segment we made here on living off the land. It's not much, but if you have these on your property, then know that whatever you're going to use the land for, whether if you're going to be grazing, it's a blessing. If you're trying to grow something on it to eat, it's a curse. And we're going to be taking the ones that we pull down or knock down. We're going to take them over to the barn, and we're going to throw them in with the goats because we're not quite ready for them to get in here yet. And it kind of gives them a little bit of a head start on this. You don't want to just turn an animal on something really green to start with because it could mess the rumen up in their stomach because it's been wintertime. They've been eating a lot of dry hay and feed and stuff like that. So we're kind of gradually working them into eating more green stuff as the springtime progresses. All right, I hope y'all have enjoyed taking you and showing you some of the things about Smilax vines, about the blessings that they are and about the curses that they can be. Smilax is one of those things that I'm sure our Native American friends used them quite regularly for different things. I know the bigger they get, the woodier they get. And the younger they are, the more tender they are. So they may be edible when they're young. I'm not that sure about that part of it. I just know that the shoots are edible, like asparagus, because we eat them. And I know the animals love the leaves and the vines and stuff like that. But Smilax, is it a blessing or is it a curse to you? That's the question that you have to ask yourself when you buy a piece of property and they're on it, because our land is literally covered with it. So it's a blessing to us in one way and a curse in the other. So thank you guys from Deep South Homestead.
Come on, Shadow. Come on, Shadow. Come on, girl.